You never know what you're going to run into with a rebuild. And look what we have here. A giant metal drum. It is 5 feet across by 20 feet long. Bridge over the middle. She has had it for approximately 20 years and it has never run. At least never run properly. I have been digging around and there are a lot of questions that I have. One is I'm not sure where electricity is coming from. Two, I'm not sure what's underneath it. There is a liner, as you can see right there. And I dug down about 3 or 4 inches and it feels like there's just, sorry, not liner, underlayment. It feels like it's just underlayment on top of dirt. And so that makes sense why it would never hold water if there was never a liner put in. It has 4 or 5 different rocks over the years that have been thrown in. She just wants it wiped clean and all new. So we would have a Pondless Waterfall. I think we should probably dig it down a little bit. It just seems really flat and then actually kind of goes uphill a little bit at the end. She wants to keep this these fairies and this little girl on this sitting rock. There is some concrete in there, so I don't even know if we can move it. But essentially what we would do is demo it, pile everything to the side. I think some of the big rock we can reuse maybe, but all the gravel needs to go. It needs to look uniform. We would put a spillway in up here, and there's probably a 16-inch difference right here. It would be nice if we can just make this go downhill a little bit more and maybe add a second tiny little fall right over here before the bridge. Come down here to an underground reservoir where we'd have a vault and the pump it on that side back up to the top. I see the pipe right here that was initially run. I can't find a spillway. I can't even find the pipe up here. And I have dug around for 10 or 15 minutes. There's plenty of chipmunk holes, but I don't see any pipe. Maybe it's coming from down this way. More chipmunk holes. So definitely need just to demo the whole thing, put new underlayment, new liner, get a real spillway dug in right there, maybe a second little mini falls or something right here. If we build this up a little bit and make it just a little bit of sitting water, that would be great. Down here there's a little bit of a challenge just with the limited amount of space. It's about 5 foot by 5 foot, 5 feet by 20 feet. I think it'd be a day or two project. Yeah, we have to get a little creative under the bridge, but I think there's enough room to make it work. All right, we're here back at another job. Alberto's acting like he's working right now. This is a Pondless Waterfall rebuild. The stream is about 20 feet in total length, but really it's only about 12 feet from right up here to right under the bridge. We are building a reservoir. We're gonna be digging that out down here. It's gonna be 16 aqua blocks, which will hold enough water to move what we need to do down the stream. As you can see, there's this underlayment, this gardening cloth, and we could not find a liner. So I don't know if they just removed it after giving up on this feature or if that's all they had to begin with, but she said it never really held water or ran correct, and now we know why. So we have pulled up 4 different kinds of rock so far. We have these large river rocks, we have brown gravel, we have smaller river rock, and so the homeowner just wanted a complete rebuild. As you see, she's got a beautiful sitting area, beautiful backyard, and so we're rebuilding this for her with the proper filtration and water movement. All that there was before was just a pipe, and we still have yet to find electricity with how this thing was running. But as you can see, chipmunks have just been boring tunnels like crazy back here. And so I think this was done by a landscaper several times over the years, and it's about 20 years old, so we're rebuilding it. So what we're gonna do is we're adding in a new waterfall. This is a product we get from Aquascapes, and it'll have some biological filtration in it. This is called the biofalls, and water will actually be pooling down there. What'd you find?
Mud.
Oh yeah, nice little snail. Ugh. So we're gonna have, the way that this system works for Pondless waterfalls is down there at the bottom of the stream is a reservoir. Inside the reservoir is gonna be a pump house, which is gonna hold the pump, and it's gonna send the water around back up to the biofalls. And so these are meant to be running 24/7. So before, the pipe kind of ran straight, but you'll learn as you design ponds that you don't want anything to be straight. We want it to look just like in nature, so we want it to cascade at different angles. And so we have angled this so that one, the main waterfall is going to be visible from the chair over there, the bench, but also as you look on the house, from the house, you're going to be able to see it as well. So we're going to dig this out down here, put the biofalls in, water is going to cascade down, and then there's going to be a second one right here where it cascades again. And then there's going to be a little bit of a rapids right here as it runs underneath this bridge and down into the reservoir. So for us, this is a 2 to 3 day project with 3 or 4 guys. Something to consider also is that we have limited access. It's really just right through that little walkway is a little path. And so yeah, these rebuilds are pretty much the same cost as building one new. But in this case, they have this cool little bridge, which is super cool. So a lot going on here. We're excited to be kicking off today's project, and we'll keep you posted. Something else to consider when it comes to pondless waterfalls is don't make them too flat. You want to move the water, you want to move it really well. You want there to be some dimension, some depth. And so as we dig out the hole for this biofalls, we're going to build this berm up over here, give it some height. We're also going to dig out the sides here a little bit, dig down a little bit, really make this a stream with good borders to it. It's going to look way better. We're going to line it with all of our boulders and really make it pop when we add some more dimension to it. But this is super flat. Like, it may be just 3 inches difference from right here all the way to the bottom. So instead of it going straight down like that, we want it to step. And that's where you get your visibility from, and your rapids and all your visual appeal. You're gonna get more noise, a little more white noise. I think that a couple of lights at these waterfalls and one shining up at that bridge from underneath the water would really make this thing pop, really make it more visible at night, look beautiful. It looks so cool. So we'll see if that's something that interests her or not. But yeah, we're excited to kick this off. It's gonna look really pretty. All right, it is 5 o'clock at the end of day 1, and we have everything cleared out. You never know what you're gonna run into with a rebuild. And look what we have here, a giant metal drum. This is what happens when maybe a landscaper or someone who doesn't quite know what they're doing is trying to build a pondless waterfall. This was covered with concrete, and Alberto and our team have been hacking away at it all day trying to clear it up. We have maybe about 6 man-hours left of work to get this out of here. But as you can see, we have excavated our area for our aqua blocks for our basin. And so hopefully tomorrow we can get this out of here by about noon and start putting some protective underlayment and liner down in there and be moving along.
All right, that's a wrap on this 20-foot Pondless waterfall here in East Memphis. Turned out fantastic. We have the biofalls installed up here. We added some lettuce and hyacinth, which just float on top, and you see a couple of them have come down, and they're gonna be happy down here because this feature is meant to run all day and all night, non-stop. You can see we added some LED lights throughout the pond. There's one underneath this bridge, and I think this turned out so much better than what they had before. You can see we have this Arkansas stone. The browns and lighter colors go perfectly well with the pea gravel. You can see we have some aquatic plants throughout. This is where that giant oil drum was from the landscaper who did it 20 years ago. And now you can see it's just falling right down into our reservoir. Back up at the biofalls, you can see water is crystal clear. Absolutely ecstatic with how this turned out. Love that it's not so flat. You have some mini waterfalls throughout it, going under this beautiful stone bridge and disappearing down. We installed an automatic dosing system to give water treatments year round, and this is the temporary setup for the electrical, and her electrician is gonna come in and make it look all better.